Hey there, this is my tutorial for you on what to do with a bundle of sage and some crystals and some stones to help enhance your spiritual connection with the spiritual world. So this is kind of a culmination of things that I've been taught over the last probably 5 years. And these are the practices that stuck with me because they seem to work, they seem to help. So the sage bundle, this is a really big bundle. I prefer smaller ones, but this was given to me as a gift, so I use it. You can take small leaves off of the bundle if you want. Sometimes I do that if I don't want to burn too much. So you could burn the end in a candle or a lighter, and you just sort of let the sage kiss the flame, and then you'll see part of it is lit. And you'll get used to how much you want lit versus not. And the first thing I do with the sage bundle is I always start, and you can start with your head, but in order to smudge my body, which I often do before meditation, I run the bundle around my arms. And then when it starts to sort of go out a little bit, if you blow on it, it prevents it from going out. I was yakking, so if you blow on it, it kind of gives it the oxygen that it needs to sort of keep burning. And so I do my arms, and then around my head, and then my neck, and then a little bit around my body. Careful not to burn your shirt. I've definitely burned a few in my day. Bada bing, bada boom. So now your upper body is smudged. When I'm standing, I go through my legs and then around my feet and lifting my feet up and smudge underneath my feet. The other thing you can do is smudge your space, your room. So I often use a feather, and you can get, this was given to me as a gift. You can pick up feathers. This is a real turkey feather, I think. I should know, but you can also use that to sort of wave away what you don't want to be in your space. So what I do is I kind of let the sage bundle burn, and I'll go into each of the 4 corners of my room or the space that you're in. You kind of want to just sense where the 4 corners are, and then sage each of the 4 corners. That's what I've done. Boom. And then careful to put it down on some place that, because all these little pieces are gonna come off and be like flecks from the burning, so just be aware of that. Then we have the crystals. So the quartz crystals, these are, I almost think of them as almost like amplifiers. They kind of like help push along whatever you really want to happen. And so I set them up in a grid, and so there's a grid here. There's one quartz, smoky quartz crystal in the middle, but you can put any stone there. I also put this jewelry, my ring and my bracelet on this grid at night. So when I don't put it in a jewelry box, I don't put this, the jewelry I wear every day gets charged at night, because I want that stuff like juiced, so that when I get up in the morning and before I leave, I can put it on and then energetically feel that which was cultivated in this space. This is also where I meditate, and there's my microphone from recording meditations. So this is what it looks like at night. And then there's this stone right here I use as my charger. And in order to charge the grid, I go in and then back, cross, in, back, cross. And I do this a few times and cultivate and think about what it is that I want. So let's say I have something coming up and I want to feel powerful. And so I charge this grid with power. And so you can kind of use that in your meditation. Or do it after your meditation, before your meditation. And as far as an inside stone, this is just one, I don't even remember where I got this one from, but you can use any stone in the middle. And you don't even need a stone in the middle. I think it's nice to use, put like a jewelry Like, yeah, you don't even need it something in the middle. Even just all of these points together, and you can also arrange it and play with it and put like 5 in, pointing towards each other to sort of energize that space. Then, so those are the quartz crystals, and in order to clean them, so they're charged when you got them from me, they're good to go. But as time goes on, you might sense like they're not really feeling as energetically juiced as they were. So what happens is, what you can do is put them on a plate or in a bowl, and when there's a full moon, which it's not tonight, but I'm going to show you how to do this, you take those stones and you put them, and they're like kind of, if you think of them as being sort of alive, I don't know, it may be all this stuff is a bunch of woo-woo, but it's helping me. All right, then sea salt. Take sea salt, I grind it on top. You could do this whether there's a full moon or not, but it's better when there's a full moon. Rosemary. You can take fresh rosemary, or if you only have the dried rosemary, then you can do that too. And you can ask that this rosemary, because this is alive, it's about to be dead, but to charge these crystals, like communicate with your mind to these things, these living organisms, to help you and to support you. So I'm asking in my mind right now that this rosemary help charge these crystals. And yes, a lot of my energetic work comes from my Reiki practice, which one day I'll be able to share that via trainings. But in the meantime, you being able to do these just practices the way that you're doing them is helpful. And then at night you could put this out on your windowsill. It doesn't have to be in an exact moonlight, but it helps. Do the best you can with what you've got. The other way to clean crystals is to take them into moving water. So you can bring them down to a stream or to the ocean and just hold them in your hands as the water runs through them, or around them, not through them. All right? And then the tourmaline, the black tourmaline, these are grounding stones. So these I have one in my car, and I usually carry them always if I travel, for sure. If I'm going to be in an airport, if I'm going to be at a conference, if I'm going to be at a place where there's going to be a lot of people, I always have this, because this helps. It's in my pocket, it's in my jacket, whatever is in there to help ground me. And you can just hold them in your hand. And also, sometimes if you have a meditation and you're sitting down to meditate and you feel like very scattered, you can just take these stones and ground them, and ground yourself just holding them. And then the last thing is, this is a little thing that I've done. I don't even know where I learned this, but underneath this little blanket thing that I have, which I got in Peru, I have a whole bunch of wishes. I put people's names. I've collected some of these cards. I think that I could probably go through and take away some of these things that are more like memorabilia. But I also put names of people that I want to sort of pray for, and I'm looking to see like if any of these wishes came true. Yeah, cool. Some of them did. That's hilarious. Not hilarious. I mean, that's why I do this stuff. But yeah, don't put anything under here that you don't actually want to have happen, because it could definitely happen. So what happens when you're charging the crystals, they're energetically connecting to the things that you are wishing for. So it sometimes is a nice place to put those wishes and those dreams that you have, and then kind of slide them under. All right? Enjoy and use this for good. Mwah. Namaste.